This podcast is certified fresh. Freshmediaworks.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to The Marketing Drive. I'm Chris Daly, and this is a show where I use my commute time to talk about one actionable marketing idea, one tip, one trick, one tidbit, one morsel. I can't think of another word for it. One tiny piece, I don't know, marketing advice that will help you get more customers, make more sales, and ultimately make more money for your business. I'm reminded of a story. A professor of marketing asked his class, okay, you have a hot dog stand. If you could have one thing about your hot dog stand that stood out, if you could have one thing to make your life better as a hot dog vendor, what would it be? And the students answered all the traditional things. The best food, thinking, yeah, that'll sell more because it's word of mouth. Another says location. If you got the best spot right on Times Square, you know, it doesn't matter if you have the best food. That location will serve you so well. Maybe it's the most newfangled hot dog stand so that you can cook them faster or something like that. And maybe it's the best marketing or the best advertising. And the students answered, and they finally ran out of things. And the whole time, he knew the answer, but he was waiting. And none of them ever said it. And when they all finished, he said, nope, I'll tell you what you would want. If you wanted something different about your hot dog selling experience, what it would be. What do you think it'd be? Well, what he said was a starving audience. Yeah, if you're surrounded by starving people, doesn't matter if it's the best one, doesn't matter the marketing, doesn't matter the stand you're using, it doesn't matter the location. If you're surrounded by starving people, you're going to sell hot dogs. So how does that apply to marketing? Well, that's the key, is don't position yourself to a group that has a lot of people offering what it is you're doing. And yes, you may be doing something that you feel is a commodity. And once it's a commodity, then it becomes about price. It becomes about convenience. It becomes about everything other than your profit, right? Because you'll chase those margins to keep competing for that commodity sale. But instead, you know, take a look at your product or service and see, where are you marketing it? Are you marketing to the great unwashed? Are you marketing everywhere to anybody? Or are you tailoring exactly who you need it to get to? If you sell volleyballs, are you doing it to the public, the general public? The average person doesn't buy a volleyball very often. Okay, maybe you're thinking, okay, I need sports fans, so I'll put an ad on some sports shows. Well, yeah, that's probably a better return, but the football fans aren't going to buy a ton. Yes, they're more likely to buy a volleyball than a non-sports fan. But, yeah, you already know who you go to now, right? You go to volleyball players, you go to volleyball coaches, you go to volleyball camps, you go to all these places where volleyball people hang out and volleyball buyers hang out. So that is your starving audience. Pay attention to what it is you're selling. If you're selling cookies, yes, the public loves cookies. But if you try to sell your cookies to the public, it's a commodity. If instead you say these are one-of-a-kind, award-winning recipes, they are amazing cookies, and they're artisan, they're craftsmen, they're so amazing and special, one, you'll make your offer distinct from other offers, and that will help. But you also have to pay attention to who you're selling it to. You know, you're not going to sell those cookies to the average Walmart customer. You know, and nothing against Walmart. They just are not the customers to buy these top-of-the-line cookies. But maybe you reach out to a country club and you sell them there, or you sell them to a professional organization of doctors or lawyers, or, you know, whatever it is. You determine that. You have to figure out that avatar of who your customer is. But that is what you're looking for when you're trying to sell these gourmet cookies, and not sell them as a commodity, because you can't compete with Walmart cookies if somebody's shopping on price. All right, until next time, pay attention to making sure that you get in front of the correct audience. That is everything. If you're in front of the correct audience, one, you'll make a lot more money. Hey, it's the same amount of work to sell it to the correct audience as it is to sell it to a generic audience. So be specific. If your marketing company, if you're outsourcing your marketing and they're not breaking down specifically targeting your audience, find a new marketing company or do it yourself, because you know what your audience is, and believe in yourself. If they're not breaking into great detail who you're marketing to, you're just throwing money at something, and that's not going to work. Again, unless you're selling a commodity. If you're selling a commodity, hey, don't listen to me. Just throw a lot of money at it. But if you want to make a decent profit and you want to stay profitable and you don't want to have that race to the bottom that comes with pricing, make sure you find your starving audience. Until next time, price it right, hey, and keep it real.
You've been listening to The Marketing Drive with Chris Daly. To learn more about how Chris can help your company get more customers, call 713-269-4620 or visit us on the web at freshmediaworks.com.
I want to thank you again for tuning into the show, and I have a favor to ask you. Would you please head over to iTunes? I'll put a link in the show notes, and rate and review this show. It means so much to us. It'll help us get this out to more people. Thank you so much for your rating and your review.